how your journey has led you to becoming the CEO of MetroHealth?
Sure. So I'm born and raised in Chicago. So not from Cleveland originally, but I'm certainly from the Midwest. And I've been extremely fortunate to have spent the large majority of my career in Chicago and throughout the Midwest. So I'm a nurse by training. I'm a fourth generation nurse. And I come from a long line of entrepreneurs in my family. So started out as an emergency department and critical care nurse, and my career really exploded through the gates, where I got an opportunity to really become a clinical informaticist and really lead up technology installations, and that thrusts me into a consulting capacity. And then from there, I've led pretty much large-scale progressive leadership roles across large-scale organizations, large integrated health delivery enterprises, and then more recently, a large safety net academic health system in a very comparable way to MetroHealth. That system was called Sinai Chicago. So it was a Jewish healthcare system, very proud of that. And really was a 103-year-old organization that really was committed to health equity, committed to eradicating healthcare disparities, caring for the underserved, marginalized, voiceless communities. And I really have a passion for that space and a purpose for that space. So when the opportunity came calling, that MetroHealth in Cleveland, not too far away, was in need of a leader to really take the helm and take the organization to the next level. I didn't even flinch when I got that opportunity, because I felt that I could make a profound difference, very comparable to the work I did in Chicago. So this has been a wonderful transition. I've been extremely pleased to be here. I really feel like the red carpet has been rolled out. I feel right at home, so I don't feel like I missed a beat at all from Chicago. What I like to describe, a hop, skip, and a jump away. So it's literally a 45-minute flight, less than 5-hour drive, very, very accessible, very reachable. But I feel like this is an expanded family, if you will. So I feel like I have one foot in one door, one foot in another. But it's been a very warm way of transitioning into a new environment. But this really feels like a little Chicago, So it has all of the same benefits, but in a much more intimate way.
Mm-hmm. And as you mentioned, you have a family history both on the patient side and as the provider.
Yes.
Can you tell me a little bit about how that has led you on your career path and how that motivates your goals?
Yeah, I have a deep history rooted in pain. A lot of just stories of delayed treatment, delayed care, misdiagnosis, death, early death. So I lost both of my grandmothers to breast cancer that should have been recognized earlier. Both of those were late and misdiagnosed breast cancer. Lost my baby sister just shy of a year ago for breast cancer, and she was denied screening, basic screening, just 2.5 years prior to her death. That could have prevented the circumstances. So by the time she was diagnosed, the cancer spread throughout her body. Myself, I'm a survivor of preeclampsia ×2. So I know that raises the alarm, and it just raises the emphasis that minorities are in a situation where our life expectancy is quadrupled and tripled in comparison to other demographics. So for me, that really fuels my focus and really fuels my passion around how do I disrupt the brokenness of the system? How do we address centuries of inequity, centuries of misdiagnosis, centuries of lack of accessibility, centuries of lack of affordability, centuries of just distrust in what has evolved and domino affected in the system. So for me, that's one of the anchors that I really hone in on, and why I want to become a national model for health equity, and really what it looks like. What it looks like to, no matter where you come from, no matter what your walk of life is, no matter what your gender is, no matter what your sexual preference is, you can receive high quality care, high quality outcomes, regardless of your ability to pay. And that's what MetroHealth is really all about. And that is what really drew me in, and I'm infected by it in a positive way.
And can you tell me a little bit about what your main goals and priorities are as CEO of MetroHealth, and
Sure.
how you plan to achieve those?
Sure. I think I spoke to one of them. So I think that loud and clear, one particular area of focus that's top of mind is how do we raise the bar and actually demonstrate what excellence looks like on the health equity circuit. And that means eradicating healthcare disparities, improving the life expectancy of those that we serve, expanding access to primary and specialty care, addressing the social drivers of health, not just the what shows up physically, but let's look at those wounds that you can't see as well, that's imprinted deeply in the whole person. So health equity is certainly top of mind. Secondarily to that, but actually at the same level, I have a really deeply rooted focus on the people that we actually serve. So is a balance of creating the best environment, the best place to work. So I want to be that pristine top places to work, but at the same time, I want to be the top place to where you can be provided high quality care and patient-centered excellence. So both of those things, I really want to raise the bar on what that looks like. You can't do that without the people, and I'm extremely proud of the great heroes on the front line that are committing themselves every single day to really lifting up this organization. I want to make sure that the spotlight is on them in that regard, but that's a huge area of focus for me. Another area of focus is on community health. So that this is kind of like a spin-off of those two perspectives, an area of focus that I already made mention of, but I want to make an intentional focus on really how do we impact the communities at large, how do we add a seat at the table, how do we raise the voice of the community and make sure that the community is heard. And we're not just addressing what we consider to be traditional health. I want to lift up the health of the community by building a pipeline for jobs, investing back in small businesses, being able to address poverty and all of the various things that impacts the community, but also impacts the health of the residents of those said communities. And then the last area of focus is on innovation. I'm always quoted about saying that, healthcare is 10 years delayed, 10 years behind the rest of other respective industries, but we were forced to speed up in the wake of COVID. We were forced to really reinvent ourselves and invent new ways and models of delivery. So with that being said, I think that we want to make our mark on that. So we don't want to stand still. We want to be encouraged by what the future looks like, and we want to be a trailblazer in that space. So I'm actually encouraged by innovation, not just in care delivery, but innovation in research and the academic aspect of who we are as well. So this is a treasured organization, not just known for healthcare. We're a treasured organization known for academic excellence as well.
And one of the goals that you mentioned was the community health and having a seat at the table. And I know during your first 100 days here, you've been going on a listening and engagement tour. Have you been meeting with any leaders in the Jewish community during this time?
So on my radar for sure. So essentially, this is the first 30 days, but certainly I want to spread myself in all the various communities, and I'm extremely proud of coming from an environment. I worked for 4 years for Sinai Chicago, so it was the largest and one of the only Jewish-focused community health systems in not just the city of Chicago, but the state of Illinois. And we were able to really elevate the presence of Sinai Chicago while I was there. And I want to definitely bring that same motivation and same momentum to the Cleveland community. So I'm looking forward to really spreading myself out and really, like I indicated, opening up a seat at the table so I can hear the voice, hear the need, and how we can shape our direction around what those needs are.
And so the majority of the Jewish community here is focused more on the east side, and they are served mostly by the facilities in Cleveland Heights, Beechwood, and Lyndhurst. Are there plans for these facilities, or are there plans for any future expansions onto the east side? Absolutely,
and in fact, right on the tail of my coming on board, we were proud to launch our new behavioral health hospital, which is at Cleveland Heights. Not only is it a focus on behavioral health, I want to emphasize the fact that we provide all levels of care in the Cleveland Heights community specifically, but that is where we're building up a center of excellence around mental health and addiction specifically, and we're really lifting that up in a profound way where we want to spread that out in the surrounding communities. But all of the communities that you made mention of, we're actually making a purposeful and intentional investment in. So our goal is to not just build up a system where you have to come to us. We're trying to build up a system where we go to the community, where the community needs us. So I'm looking forward to continuing that work. One of the more important things that I'm going to do as I continue my first 100-day journey in listening and engagement tour is to really establish a community advisory council where I'm going to go into neighborhoods, the Jewish community as well, and welcome individuals to come to the table right along with me so I can listen, learn, engage, and develop the services and the programs and the care delivery arms that we need. So I'm looking forward to actually doing that. And that's certainly going to be within my first 100-day time frame on board.
And of course, there's a history between the philanthropy in the Jewish community in supporting MetroHealth. We're sitting here in the Glick Center.
Yes.
So do you have a plan for how MetroHealth can attract and work with Jewish donors?
I think so. This is something that again I'm excited about, given where I came from. So that's really hot on our radar. We're extremely proud of our partnership with the Glicks, as well as the motivation and what that does for the Jewish community as a whole. That speaks volumes, actually. So that's the first of several measures that we're going to take to expand those relationships and really have a purposeful and intentional focus on not just the Jewish community, but the communities at large. But most definitely, that's hot on our radar. And I'm excited about it as well. And a lot of my Jewish partners from Chicago says hello to Cleveland as well. So a lot of Jewish ties.
Wonderful. And then, of course, I'm sure you're aware of the firing and the current lawsuit involving your predecessor. How is this impacting the start of your new role here?
Obviously, it's not the most ideal of circumstances to have to come in and really be a part of such a wonderful organization, yet have to navigate through a crisis at the same time. But part of my history, I'm a emergency department and critical care nurse, and that's what we do. We troubleshoot, we navigate, we know how to navigate through crisis. And my heart really poured out to the communities at large and to the people that are so dedicated and so passionate in committing their lives every single day, which is why that was a motivational factor on why I started early. So literally last week was supposed to be my first week, but I made a choice to come sooner, to really take the helm and really be the stable ground that the organization needed to be in this time of challenge. So with that being said, I think that we have a lot to do. We have a lot to learn from what occurred. We have a lot to put in place to ensure that we prevent those various circumstances, and let's put together the process measures, the policies, the procedures. Let's ensure that we have the right people that are safeguarding our organization in the right way. And we're doing that. So I can honestly say that the board made a very courageous and very difficult decision to make the move that they made. But I have high degree of courage or confidence in the board for that decision, and the measures that we've taken, the actions that we've taken to be transparent, to really take a deep level, comprehensive review of the organization. Those are all the right things, and we're going to continue to do that.
Okay. And anything else that you want to add or that you're looking forward to?
Honestly, I just, I have buckled my seatbelt. I've come out the gates sprinting a marathon and roller skates. I'm just looking forward to just continue to learn and continue to listen to the community and start to roll my sleeves up with the community to really work on the things that we need to do. So I'm just encouraged by all of that. So thank you.